guys, Audrey here from Party by Design. I'm busy with a very big order and I thought let me make you one. So next year Christmas you can play around, and there's even time to make one now if you like. But we're going to make these beautiful little gnomes in a pot, and it's made from organic materials, so from the Christmas tree, not the pine, more the flat leaf one, I'm not sure what it's called. And in a terracotta pot, we've got a real little bell going on here, and they will last up to 3 months because we're going to do it in oasis. So let's get started. We're going to take our terracotta pot, and I'm just going to move this down a bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Good. But before that, let's just quickly see what we're going to need. We're going to need a plaster. I think maybe you think that's funny, but yeah, just to protect your hands, because for me it's very difficult to work with gloves. And I'm going to put it on my index finger, because when we work with the nylon rope and we're going to start winding the rope, it cuts into your finger, so we're going to need some protection there. Yeah, I had to learn the hard way. Then we're going to need a glue gun. We're going to need some pins, long ones and shorty ones, like those. And you can just make these out of floral wire. Let me see. You just take your, I don't know where they are now. I just had them here a minute ago. Oh, there we go. So you just take, I think this is a 20 inch. So it's quite long. So I just take the pliers and I curl it over and I cut it into different lengths, so that we've got a wire like that. I don't know if you can see. Yes, like that, so that we can secure the nylon rope. Afterwards, we're going to need some bells. Okay, and we're going to need lots of elastic bands. And you'll need a little pom-pom, either red. I'm making white ones today. So you've got your white pom-poms there. And you're going to need your silver nylon lint. And I'm using just a small white satin lint for the bow. And then, yeah, so let's get going. So we're going to take our oasis block. It's pre-soaked already. I'm just cutting off at the bottom, just at the angle, so it's easy to get it into my pot. And I'll give it a good squeeze right down so it's nice and secure. Then I'm going to cut my oasis into the shape I want it. So from the top, I'm just slicing it at an angle down, like that. And these big pieces I just cut off, and you'll see there's a bit of a gap there. And I give it a squeeze in there, and the same at the back. Then we just make sure the top is how we would like it. And I'm just going to make it nice and round at the top, because when we stick in our product, we just want it smooth. Otherwise, if it's on a sharp corner, it just breaks off and doesn't stay put. So I just want to get rid of this quickly. Okay, so now we can get started. What I always do also, after I've pushed it into the terracotta pot, I just add a little bit of water in the top again, because we've now compressed the oasis, and some of the water on top would have been pushed down. Okay, now the first part that we start with is this is a thicker wire, and this is going to make your little gnome's hat. So we push this straight down right until you can feel the bottom, like that. I just want to push this up a bit so you guys can see. Now we just have to look for our greenery. What we want to try and find is one with a nice bow like that, like this one. So let's get cracking on this. So that we can tie it on like that. So we're going to definitely have to look for a little bigger one. You just fix this camera. I think that's better. I've got some nice pieces in here that I kept from yesterday. So basically you just want to get something with that you're going to tie well into the gnome's hat. And we want to secure that into the aces, because of course this is going to, so you just measure, you just hold it tight and see if it's going to go around, and if you're happy that it's going to go around, then I just want another big piece. I think this is the time consuming thing, is just to get the hat right, because that's very important that we have the right shape going forward. So now I'm holding it like this and I can feel, yeah, it's a lot less compacted than here. So we need another this could, it still doesn't have a very nice bow. Let's just see, where's the big pieces I cut? Nope. No. Okay, that's good work. So I'm just going to trim. You see, yeah, we've got a nice bow on your leaf. So I'm just going to cut the bottom ends off and just keep those because we need to fill it up in the bottom. So I'm going to get it in here nicely like that. And get it straight into the water, the aces, and that's what's going to make your little gnome last the whole holidays. Okay, I'm happy with the thickness of it, but not the length. But let me start working on the, so then I just take a piece of wire and I secure it so long. It just makes it easier later on. And I know where everything is. Okay, so you're seeing the back part of it, I'm seeing the front. Now we're going to start at the bottom, and basically you're just going to start filling all around the edge of the pot. And then you're going to work your way up. And yeah, we just need to fill up these areas very well, especially at the base. Excuse me. The base of the pot, so that when you start tying you're not going to see any aces. So I just fill it in like that as I go around, making sure the green leaves are on the edge of the pot. And then this little piece where we added the little extra piece of aces, it's not level with the rest of the aces. So what we need to do here is to stick something right there so that it can give the right volume. If we don't fill it up here and we only fill it up where we added the piece of aces, it's going to make a curve in the gnome's head, and we don't want that. We want a solid piece of head. Okay, so now we've added that. Now we can continue with adding the base, and we're just going to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'm going to do the same on the front. So we just want to stick a nice thick piece in there. So, oh yeah, we got a little seed. Okay, so now we continue doing that, which is going to take a while. So I'm just going to pause the video. time estimate on making this gnome after you've done about 20 is about an hour. But for beginners, I would set out an hour and a half, because it takes a bit of practice to get the shape right. That's the main thing, is just to get the shape right. And as you're working around, just do that and feel like, okay, it feels smooth. There's no bumps or any of the branches sticking out too much. So I'm just going to do the first layer quickly so that you guys can see. These are actually very nice for on top. So to continue this line, I keep adding down like that, so that once we start coming up here, it's also, we've got a full amount of the leaves here. Just remove the seeds if they are producing seeds at the moment, and try and use as much as you can of your product and get it right down to the base of the pot. Because when we start tying, as I said, then we don't want to have too much. Actually, we don't want any of aces to stick. So now I'm starting to feel that it's getting that face shape that I want, and I'm just going to continue here quickly and finish the base part, and then I'll come back once it's filled up. Okay, welcome back. So there we go. So we work from the bottom to the top and around for our head. So as you start, just move your hand up and then you push it towards the top, and it should all feel like we are shaping a head. Now, to make the tying of the nylon rope easier, we're going to take elastic bands. Sometimes you see these beautiful things and you start trying making it, and it just doesn't work, because these little tricks like the elastic bands that will help you get your shape you're looking for. So I put 2 or 3 bands on at once, and then I lift it up, ensuring that I'm tucking as much leaves in the elastic band as possible, because that's just going to help us when we start binding the whole arrangement. So there we go. I'll just take 2 or 3, and it's easier working from the base up than from the top down. So we're going to give that a lift. Okay. And I separate the elastic bands like so. Okay, once we get to the top, I just do it from the top. Okay, so now we're already seeing we're getting that shape we want. And don't worry if the leaves are sticking out from the elastics, because that's where tying is going to come in. But if you can get it as neat as possible, it just makes the tying so much easier. So the tying on top for the gnome, I'm just going and I'm making a double band because it's thinner up here. Just make sure your wire is in the center of your greenery, like that. And the last piece here, I'm not going to worry. So there I've got my shape I want. It's all exactly the way I want it. So now we're going to take one of our pins we made. Just want to get a longer one. I think this one could work. So we're just going to tie our nylon silver twine or string onto the loop of our pin we made. And if you don't have floral wire, you can actually just use hairpins. The pins that you, what do you call them? That you secure your curlers with. Those will work perfect. You can just get yourself a packet of that. There we go, and we just make a secure knot, and we close the loop we made, because this is our secure point. Okay, and we start from the back because we don't want this in the front. Okay, so I'm starting from the back, and this is a good time to see if we have missed anything. If you can see green oasis, then just put this piece in. There's another one. Oops, that was very loud. Just, and it helps if we cut the greenery at an angle. So I'm happy with that. It's just a piece here that we need to, oh, these are nice. Okay, try and get it in as deep as possible, because then it also drinks well. Okay, all right, so we've got our pin tied up. We're going to start from the back and secure it at an angle inside, so that when you start pulling, it's not going to come loose. Okay, now this is why we needed the plaster. I'll show you in a minute. There's another little piece here that's still sticking out. Get it right deep in. There we go. So we're going to hold our finger with the plaster at the angle and make sure the nylon line is in the center of that, otherwise it's going to cut you. So you're going to start turning your pot and putting your twine, and as you go around, you're using your other hand to stick any of the greenery into the twine, like that. So we just use this hand to turn it. If you've got a turn wheel, it's even better. And this thumb just to push the greenery in as we go along. And we're pulling and we're turning, and we try and make the spacing between each twine the same, like that. Okay, then I just hold with the one thumb. Oh. And I take my little pins I made and I stick in just to secure the twine. As every now and then we can do that. As we go to the top, we're going to need more, because we're obviously going at the angle, and then it becomes a bit more difficult. Like that. Okay. Oh, I think I'm going to run out of pins. Okay. There we go. So we carry on. This also takes a bit of time, but once you get the motion right, so just remember to keep pulling and tucking in the leaves as you're turning your twine. Okay, I'm going to start with the longer pieces, and I'm also going to pause the video now because this takes a while and you get the logistics of it. Okay, so we're going to pause and I'll come back just now. Okay, so now we're back. So now we've tied the whole gnome, and I'm just looking here if I'm happy with everything. Yes. Okay, so at the end, so I've come to the end of the little head. I'm just going to make a loop and tie it in and pull it secure, and I'll do that 3 or 4 times, because if this string comes loose on the top, the whole thing will unravel. So we just want to make extra sure that we secure it tightly. We do this, and then I'm going to show you, we'll do it again. It's taking a while to... Okay, so there we go. I've got my hot glue gun onto my nose, and we stick it just on the edge of the pot. Just hold it there a little bit, and there we go. These are 3 pretty gnomes. I'm going to show you in a minute. Put it like that. One there. And one there. Little bells and all. So let me show you quickly